Hello and welcome to Saturday Chat with Big Scott 35. Uh so this is my second attempt. I was long-winded getting my thoughts out there, which most of y'all know. And I try to be to the point, get my point out, and not get it lost in a bunch of stuff. Because sometimes, even when I've had questions the last few weeks, especially like these chats where I like to get my thoughts out there in the world, uh, get some feedback on them. So, first off, I want to talk about my shows this past week. Sunday, if you like hockey at all or you want to learn about hockey, uh, learning course 101 with me, Amish Dave, Archer, Joe, Dr. Exclusive. Those guys are knowledgeable, knew all the players' names, knew all the rules, expect like how many players you can have, roster, blah blah blah. Very very good. I was wondering a lot about Bedard, the new kid this year. A lot of hype. People are still talking about him after week one, which is good. I thought it was a good thing that we have a big rookie on a team in Chicago. I think that's going to help the sport. Yeah, Toronto and Edmonton are big names, but it just if you wanted to grow in America, you kind of need an American team. I know that's an American view, and it probably goes over like poo in up north, but I just find that's where the money is, and if you wanted to be take back over the fourth spot, and because I think it's like sixth right now, to be honest, behind soccer and IndyCar racing for some reason. Uh, I really do think it, needs a guy like hopefully like him to bring it. They shot themselves in the foot with their last strike, uh, and that just they're starting to get their rebound back. Facility the at the arenas are packed for the most part. The viewership, they need to get more viewers on their local channels in some of these non-hockey markets. Outside of when the playoffs start, it seems like when people start getting really into it. I'm like a lot of sports, but it's fun talk. Go back see it if you haven't. Watch it in double time. I know hockey's not for everybody, and I talk a lot of baseball in here, which that's my jam, and I think everybody knows it. So, but it was fun. Hopefully, Joe is a regular now in here. Hopefully, Amish Dave will become a guy we have on here quite a few times a year with Brad and some of my other experts. Uh, like to keep those Rolodex, just keep filling them up. Um, let's see. So next I have so Monday, me and my dad talk MLB baseball playoffs. Orioles. Thanks for showing up and participating. Same with the Dodgers. Some great storylines in that. Don't want to get too in depth with it. Go back and watch that. And we the Diamondbacks surprised us. The Orioles losing wasn't a surprise. It was just three and out. That's the surprise. Um, but I'll be pulling for the Diamondbacks. I'll let that out there. A couple of guys from UVA are on the team. Um, and also, I'm a National League guy. So when there's I'm not a Houston or Texas Rangers fan at all. So usually when it comes down to this, I'll root for whatever National League team, or at least want to see them win. I don't know about rooting for them, but even if the Phillies go into the World Series, yes, I will be pulling for the Phillies. Even though they're gonna mock my Mets in their locker room when my Mets have nothing going on with them right now. Why would you do that? But anyway, but anywho, let's go on. Wednesday showed off pickups from the show that I went to last weekend. I didn't speak too highly of that show. And yeah, wasn't the greatest, wasn't the worst show I've been to either. Let me put that out there. I went to one a few months ago. It was pretty bad before I went to the National. All right, yeah. Was that after the? I can't remember. It was bad. It was so bad I even forgot when I went. Because in North Carolina, these are new promoters I've never heard of, POW or something. The ones that did the one I went to, that other bad one, new promoters. I think they have too much going, too many shows, trying to compete against college football. Is this state has more colleges than I've ever been in per cap. It's just crazy. So to go against college sports is kind of crazy when it comes to that on a Saturday. You'd be better off doing it on a Sunday at this time because the Panthers not very good. But that's neither here nor there. I talked about the show. I still found good deals. I've still found cards I wanted. So I'm always going to find, it's a card show. I'm going to find something. I've only been to maybe 2 or 3 card shows, and they were in Iowa, where I kept seeing the same dealers at all the shows. You get that everywhere, but there you just the same exact dealers. It wasn't like, oh, you went to another part of the state and there was 5 of the guys you saw in the upper part of the state. You went to the lower part, there's 5 guys there, and then the other 20 are different. No, it was basically the same 20, 25 dealers at every show. The only time I ever saw a difference was when I went to the big show in Des Moines. And I hope that's still growing for them. I saw they just had that one here not too long ago. So went to showed those cards off. Love what I got. Really happy with what I got. And for the price I paid. I'm not the greatest haggler. I will, but if it's a fair deal and I feel like it, I probably could have got those cards for a little bit less. But at the end of the day, I'm happy with what I got, price I got. I mean, I just bought some cards from Mike last night, and he was getting on me about my haggling skills. I just, it is what it is, man. I'm not the best at it. I hate it. I hate going car shop. Anything that I got to talk about prices. It's just not for me. But don't think you're going to get over on me either. I'll just walk away. That's how I am. I either buy it or walk away. So that was Wednesday. Didn't do a Thursday. Work is crazy. We just opened up a new section, an expansion. We had mayors and wannabe mayors and dignitaries and board members and RCOO, CFO, all these big wigs there. They had us come in, and I work second shift. They had us come in early. They had fed us, and everybody had their little talks. And it's been a hectic week around that. Hopefully it's normal. I'm a creature of habit, so when you throw me off, it messes me up for a few days. I get it honestly. My dad's the same way. I like to kind of stay on schedule even on my days off. It just makes my life easier. When I was younger, I didn't care. I'd go to bed when I was tired and get up when I was fine. Now I'm, in my 50s. I kind of like that same thing. Not same thing, but trying to keep a schedule. That's why I like to do these shows. I schedule my shows because I feel like I have a channel. They're called a channel. You put shows on a channel. So I feel like having a show at a certain time on every week, everybody expects it. And I try to stick to that. And it keeps me, has me something to look forward to. Like I said, this is just an extension of my hobby. I've told my friends this even I think is bigger than my actual hobby itself. I have a load of fun doing this. That's why I think I take it so personal. But anyway, so that's that. That leads me in to what I wanted to my goals. I was going to talk goals today. I've been talking a lot about goals and finances. I just don't think enough people talk about the money part of the hobby, other than how much they're making. It's a very machismo thing. Everybody wants to show off their big daddy cards and how much they spent, or but they don't want to talk about when times are tough. Other than, and then that's when you start hearing, "I'm a dick. I'm addicted." I almost said you're a dick. Addicted, and they want to throw that term around when things get hard or tough, and it's just not easy anymore to make money and buy cards off of somebody else's dime, more here or there. Uh, and it's gotten tougher now that people, a lot of people, some people left the hobby, not a lot. I mean, you went to the national. Uh, some people left the hobby. A lot of people have gotten educated on the hobby, uh, and rightfully so. The people that make the cards, whoever that transition is into now, sees the cards going up in the secondary market, and they want a part of that pie. They want some of that juice. Uh, Rightfully so. I don't blame them for that. So even the SRP of some of this product has gone up. So for me, in this last quarter of the year, uh, I have, talked about where I'm really not buying off. The only person I'm buying singles off of right now is Mike. He opens, cards. We talk, or, off his channel. It's tough for me because of my job when he does his live. But that's it. I don't know when the last time I bought off of eBay. I think it was sometime in September. I have no. I've been trying to rattle my brain. I can look it up, I guess, where my last purchase on eBay was. I haven't bought Sport Lots. The ComC order I showed off a few weeks ago, that was months ago. I just, really narrowed down, and I might go to another car show here and there. But really, and I picked up blasters and value boxes, and even purchased some Bowman Chrome off tops.com. I only open one pack a day, so I'm building a nice little shelf of wax right now, not to resell, but just to have. Really slowing down what I'm opening, so I can enjoy it. Stop and smell the roses. I've been posting cars, trying to purge on Sport Lots, and you got to get a lot of cards on there to start getting traction. You got to have thousands and thousands, because it's just low. I do have a stack over here for eBay. That's probably where my bigger cards or stuff I can't really put. I mean, I've sold a couple $4 or $5 graded cards on eBay. If there's a graded card that somebody wants, it's not in my house anymore, and I made a couple of dollars on it. It's not in a plus, but it's not a piece of plastic sitting in a box. It's out. Now I can $4 or $5. I can put that towards a blaster, put it in my pocket to buy a drink. I don't know. The $5 doesn't go the same way. I almost said a meal, but we're past those days, ain't we? I could put a tenth of a tank of gas in my car. But anyway, let's see what. Maybe 2 gallons of gas, if they had a gallon and a half. So that's kind of funny now that I think about it. So, but anyway, uh, but my question is like, so all morning I have cards I want to send to PSA, right? At bulk, it's $19 if you paid the $100 uh, ransom fee. Uh, I'm not going to do that because then you have to send in 20 cards to get the $20. That's $400 you have to spend, and then that's I probably have to send in at least out of that 20, 10 of them to be sold to get 10 cards in my PC. It just seems like a lot of work to me. I already have a job. This is a hobby. I don't want to stress out over spending $400, and I would. That's a lot of money to me. Um, I'm not rich. My plan was to win the Powerball. That fell through. Um, so what I'm doing is I'm just going to send it. I was going to go through Got Baseball Cards. He's very well known and established and reparable in the hobby. But his is $22 a card. I just don't. For 25, I could just send it in myself and not pay to send it to him, to get it paid, to send the PSA, to have it paid, to send back to him, to pay for it, to get sent to me again. I yes, I'm going to pay heavy shipping costs on the back end for 4 cards because I'm trying to stay within $100 budget when I ship. I remember back I could send, man, I was sending 12, 15 cards for $100 when I first started. But now and I could go through somebody else. This is the point I wanted to make. I would like to send to a bulk because a sense of community with a bulk guy, right? Especially when they do reveals. We're all sitting there watching a reveal. Got Baseball, I don't think they do reveals. So the whole reason I would do it is to get it cheaper. I don't know if I'm getting it cheaper. I don't think I am. I'm paying a little bit more on the shipping on the back end, but I have all the control, right? I still got to fill out paperwork. I still got to go through all that mess. So what's the pluses start falling off very fast. I would rather do it to a YouTuber or Twitch or somebody streams where you're part of a reveal. It's fun. You're in a group to share that you automatically in a community. That's how I started with Mike. I was in his PSA stuff. That's how I became part of his community, an extension of his community. I was just doing SGC, CGC. The person that took PSA over had some issues with PSA. Now he's not doing it at all. So, and PSA's been so pricey and they're terrible customer service, but still, I'm going to send in 4 cards, 2 for the PC, 2 to sell. Only reason I'm doing a PC is because they're Pete Alonso, and it's how I got my Pete Alonsos already, right? I was really thinking about CGC because that's where I got my other Pete Alonsos. That's where I'm gonna crack this one and send it in because this is an ISA. I want it in something else. I'll probably end up sending out in the PSA as well. I'm trying to do as much as I can in his tops stuff in PSA for one reason. I don't know if he's going to be a Met, and I don't know if I'll keep all of his cards if he's not a Met. If he goes to the Yankees or Dodgers or the Phillies, I'm not buying those cards. I'll be buying them as a Met, or if he goes somewhere else of a team that I at least can stomach, then I might buy some of those cards. But most likely, I'll just keep continuing to buy the Mets cards. But if he goes somewhere and just because, and I don't like the way it all goes down, then what? I'm stuck with a very large Pete Alonso collection that I keep growing. Uh, I'm up to 1,025 cards, I believe, right now in that collection. Um, Plus all the duplicates. And, anyway, it's not my biggest collection, but it's starting to get there. Cal Ripken. I think I still got more Cal Ripkens in Gary Carter's. I know I have more Gary Carter's than Pete Alonso's at the moment. But I just want to know how everybody's doing with that. I don't think we talk about, hobby budgets. How do you stay in your budget? Everybody wants to talk about, ooh, look at this one. Look at this shiny. Look at this vintage. Look how low numbered or hard it is to get this one. I staying away from the credit cards, trying to do it on a hobby budget, pretty much off my paycheck. 95% of how I purchase things, probably even more than that. That's just how I've always done it. Growing up, if I wanted to buy cards, I went and cut grass, went and did stuff at the ball fields, made some easy cash, and then went and bought ball cards. It's just how it was. And then you traded them. So just trying to find out what everybody else is doing. And I'll be talking more about the financial part of it, I think, as collector and not so much as a flipper or seller. I don't think enough of that is being talked about until it's a negative. I want to talk of it as a positive. How a collector that really doesn't do much selling, how I set up. And I have big boy cards too. Don't get me wrong. I do. And what do? And I've talked about it before. I have a savings account for the Granddaddy Show of Law, the National. And I usually try to buy one or two big boy cards there. And I call big boys comma cards. Every once in a while I'll buy one if I know it's something that I don't see often in the regular and dirty year. But usually I mark, and the way my collection is I have a broad collection, and even I narrowed my collecting down. It's pretty broad to this moment. And so, I can wait to the National, and I know when I find something. I already have in mind what I want to buy at the next National. Me and Mike was actually looking for it. I did it to him with Roberto Clemente a few years back. Now he was doing it with another card. Something that's never a bad time to purchase is what people say. So I already have a thought about what the card I'm looking for next year. And there's plenty of them there. It's not like it's not enough. But anyway, more about that as we get closer to the National. I mean, we're only 10 months away, right? But I just want to talk more about that. Please give me your ideas and feedback on how you're doing grading right now. It just doesn't seem like the bulk graders have much flexibility right now. It seems like the grading companies are cutting their prices down, where the bulk guys are not getting a much juice out of it, and much what is the term money out of it as they were getting before. Because I when I started, the bulk graders were in it just to get cheap bulk grades, and maybe they can get a little bit of free grading for themselves. They won't making a living off of it. Now this whole thing, everybody's trying to make a buck off of this thing, which is fine. But how is everybody dealing with this? What is your thought process on it? So please let me know down below. what your thought is. This is my second time recording this, like I said, and I'm just being as much long-winded as I was on the last one. But this week, Sunday night, have a guy hopefully coming on. I had to change times, and I gave him the wrong date like a dummy. To come on from Canada. He's a baseball collector. Love to get his input. Just went to the Hall of Fame, Baseball Hall of Fame, not too long ago. I'm going in a week. Can't wait. With Mike O. Cannot wait. Check that off my list. And hopefully I can get back here in the future, but can't wait till next weekend. Looking forward to it. So look forward to that next weekend. Some stuff from there. Let's see. Me and my dad, we talking baseball. We'll have down to 4 teams now. On Monday, Wednesday. I'll be showing actually purchases from Mike O. And I will have a Nerdy Thursday. And, and next Saturday I'll probably be showing off some cards next Saturday. Because it's going to be very pre-recorded to have one for Saturday. And tell you what I'm looking forward to at the Hall. Saturday I will be at the Hall. So till next time, like, share, tell a friend. Sorry, another lengthy one, but love these chats. And we'll see ya.